56% of CEOs got zero ROI from their AI investments last year. You're probably collecting tools instead of building systems that actually run without you. Here's the 3-step workflow that turns scattered AI experiments into work that happens automatically. But here's the catch. Most people build these systems backwards and wonder why everything breaks after 2 weeks. You know how to prompt ChatGPT. You've tried Claude for writing. Maybe you're even using Zapier for basic automation. But you're still manually copying client details between 5 different apps and spending 30 hours a month on work that should happen while you sleep. The missing piece isn't another AI tool. It's connecting what you already have into one intelligent workflow that handles entire business processes from start to finish. I'll walk you through building a complete client onboarding system that processes inquiries, generates personalized responses, creates project folders, and schedules follow-ups automatically. 3 main components. And the third one is where most people's systems fall apart silently. Here's what actually happens when someone fills out your contact form right now. You get an email notification. You switch to your browser, review the inquiry, maybe research the client, craft a response, create a project folder, update your tracking spreadsheet, and set a calendar reminder. That's 20 to 30 minutes per inquiry, and with 15 inquiries a month, you're burning through 10 hours of pure administrative overhead. The breakthrough comes from treating this as one continuous workflow instead of 7 separate tasks. When someone submits your contact form, that single action triggers a cascade of automated steps that complete the entire onboarding process without you touching anything. But here's what breaks most automation attempts. People connect tools without mapping the actual data flow. They'll hook up their contact form to send emails, but the email template is generic because the system doesn't know how to pass the client's project type or budget into the message. The automation exists, but it's not intelligent. The difference is building a system that moves specific data between specific tools in a specific sequence. Contact form captures name, email, project type, budget, and timeline. Those 5 fields become variables that flow through every subsequent step, personalizing each automated action based on the actual inquiry details. This is where Claude API transforms a basic automation into something that actually thinks. Instead of sending the same template response to every inquiry, the system crafts personalized emails using the client details as context. Here's the exact setup. Zapier receives the form submission and triggers a code by Zapier action that calls Claude API. The Python code pulls the client's name, project type, budget, and message, then feeds those details into a carefully structured prompt that generates a professional response under 200 words. Most people skip the prompt engineering here and wonder why their automated emails sound robotic. The key is building context into the prompt itself. Tell Claude the client's specific industry, reference their timeline, acknowledge their budget range. When someone submits a request for an $8,000 e-commerce website with a 6-week timeline, the response mentions e-commerce platforms and conversion optimization, not generic web design concepts. The API call costs about 3 to 5 cents per email generated. With 15 monthly inquiries, you're looking at 75 cents in AI cost to replace 10 hours of manual email drafting. But here's where it gets genuinely dangerous. If the API times out or returns malformed JSON, your entire workflow breaks silently. Your client never gets a response, and you never know it happened. The system needs error handling that falls back to a standard template when the AI call fails, and a Slack notification that alerts you when exceptions occur. Skip this safety net, and you'll wake up to angry prospects who think you're ignoring them. Once Claude generates the personalized email, the workflow continues with 6 more automated steps. Gmail sends the response. Google Sheets logs the client details in your tracking spreadsheet. Google Drive creates a project folder named with the client name and project type. Google Calendar schedules a follow-up reminder for 48 hours later. Slack sends you a notification if the inquiry is over $5,000. And the system tags the inquiry as processed in your CRM. Each step receives the same data variables from the original form submission. The Google Drive folder gets named using the client name and project type fields. The calendar reminder includes the client's timeline in the event description. The Slack notification shows the budget amount if it exceeds your priority threshold. The entire sequence runs in under 2 minutes. What used to require 20 to 30 minutes of context switching between applications now happens automatically while you're focused on billable client work. Here's a real example. Sarah submits a form requesting web design services with an $8,000 budget and 6-week timeline. The system generates this response. Hi Sarah, thank you for reaching out about your web design project. I see you're looking to launch an e-commerce platform with an $8,000 budget and 6-week timeline. Based on your requirements, this aligns well with my experience in creating conversion-focused online stores. I'd love to schedule a 30-minute discovery call to discuss your specific needs and provide a detailed project proposal. Meanwhile, the system creates a folder called Sarah_e-commerce website _2026, adds your details to the client tracking sheet, schedules a Thursday follow-up reminder, and sends a high-priority Slack alert because the budget exceeds $5,000. If you're building this today, start with these 4 connections. Contact form to Zapier trigger, Zapier to Claude API for email generation, Claude output to Gmail for sending, form data to Google Sheets for logging. Test it with 3 sample inquiries before adding the folder creation and calendar scheduling. You get the core intelligence loop working first, then expand the downstream automation. The tool chain moves 5 specific data fields through 4 connected services. Typeform captures name, email, project_type, budget, and timeline. Zapier sends those fields to Claude API along with a structured prompt. Claude returns personalized_email under 200 words. Gmail sends that response to the client_email address. Test this by submitting a sample inquiry for a $5,000 website project and verify the generated response mentions web design and includes a specific next step. The real leverage isn't the AI email generation. It's the systematic data flow that makes every automated action contextually relevant. Most automation feels robotic because it treats every input the same way. This system uses the inquiry details to customize not just the email response, but the folder naming, the calendar event details, and even the Slack notification priority. A task that used to consume half your morning now completes in under 3 minutes with better personalization than you'd achieve manually. The shift from learning tools to building systems changes everything about how AI actually impacts your daily operations. Stop chasing the latest features and start connecting what you already have into workflows that adapt and scale. Once you build this foundation, every new AI capability becomes a component you can integrate rather than another standalone tool to master. Your next system handles proposal generation the moment this inquiry converts to a project, and that seamless transition is exactly how intelligent automation scales across your entire business operation.